Well, today's the day. We're gonna get the first row of logs set up on these stumps. So I'm gonna skid these logs over to the building site with the four-wheeler, same way I brought them all over here when I was logging them. But I kind of blocked myself in, so I'll have to cut a couple of these trees down so I can get the four-wheeler by these logs. The strange winter continues. It's the end of December right now in northern Minnesota, and there's no snow. It's all melted. We've gotten a lot of rain lately, actually, so everything's kind of muddy. So we'll see how this goes. See what happens. Works out pretty slick. Better than dragging them over by hand. So the length of these eave walls are 40-foot long, so obviously I can't, deal with 40-foot logs. I don't even have any 40-foot logs on this property. So they're gonna have to end up on one of these stumps and then butt up to each other. So we'll see where this one comes out. I think it'll end up just short of this one, but I'll cut it right in the middle of this stump. And then the scrap piece I'll save because that can go between windows and things like that, so it'll get used. I will cut this log right here. So I'll be left with this scrap, which is about a 3.5-foot piece. So that'll go between windows. And then the next log will butt up to this one and I'll spike them together. It's resting nice on these stumps, except for the corner here. This corner is about a 1/2 inch off the stump. So I don't know if I'll end up shimming that or if I will notch onto these stumps so that then this corner sits nice as well. So this log came out pretty good. We'll go hook onto another one and drag it over. Okay, there's log number 2 on. This was kind of a pathetic cut on this log. It's not very straight, so there's a gap up top. So I'm gonna cut that straighter and then make these fit nicer together. All right, that fits much tighter. Row 1 is complete. I think I'm gonna wait till I'm done with the entire first row to spike them together, but that's a good start. All right, 3 sides are done. One more side to fill in. Well, there it is. That is the footprint of the cabin. So we got the first row of logs ran. They're just sitting on the stumps right now. So I need to spike these together. So these are 8-inch galvanized spikes, and that's what I'm using to tie these joints together and the corners together. This is just to kind of keep things held in place when I go with my next row of logs, so nothing shifts on me or rolls on me. But my next log that goes on top of this one will be spiked into this one and into this one, and that'll really be what ties everything together. But these, I wanted to put these in here because, like I said, I don't want anything to shift on me, and this will hold it in place when I go with my next row of logs. Well, these are all tacked together, tied together, sitting level, so it's a good start. Woke up to a little bit of snow this morning. All right, well, that's as far as I'm gonna get on the cabin in this video, because it's kind of a good stopping point before we really start going on our log walls. If you hear that humming in the background, there's a logging operation going on a couple miles away. So as we get going on this, you know, on this front wall and this side wall, I'll be dealing with shorter logs, which will be nice. I'll be able to bring those over by hand because the front door will be centered on this front wall, and it's, you know, it'll be 3 feet wide. So I'm not gonna run logs where I'm gonna cut them out in the door opening anyways, you know, so they'll just stop somewhere right here and right here. And it won't be too long before I'll reach my window height as well. So then it'll be kind of short logs between the windows. And then, like I said, won't be dealing with long logs until I get above those again. There's also going to be a 6 foot wide opening right here for some sliding doors, because there's gonna be a wraparound porch that goes around this wall and the front. So, you know, those logs will stop, you know, somewhere in here and here. No, like I said, no point in running logs in the door openings if you're just gonna cut them out anyway. And there's a few windows on this wall as well. So once I get up, you know, yeah, like I said, a few logs higher, we'll start dealing with some pretty short logs. So that'll be nice. This back wall will have just 2 windows. And then this side wall will have its fair share of windows as well. Doors and windows are pretty expensive, so it'd be nice if we can find a front door and the sliding doors at the restore, which is like people like donate old materials, you know, to a restore basically, or they come off of old job sites and then you can get them for pretty cheap, you know, like a fraction of the price is buying a new door. So we'll probably go that route. For the windows, they're all kind of standard sizes, so if I can find windows at that store, that'd be nice too. Really save a lot of money. So on these logs I have, you know, on the corners, they're spiked in this way and this way. And then, yeah, spikes through the seams as you guys saw. Like I said, I was using 8-inch spikes for this, or for, you know, just tacking it together just to hold it in place. But once I start running my next row, I'm switching to 12-inch long spikes, so they'll be a lot longer. And there's gonna be a lot of them. I'll probably have them every 16 inches, 2 feet maybe, we'll see. But in the grand scheme of things, spikes are pretty cheap, so might as well use a lot of them. These spikes are really strong too. With these spikes too, when I was building the log cabin workshop, I had several comments about the logs splitting with these. You know, a lot of people will pre-drill holes first and then pound spikes, or they'll, you know, drill down and then use rebar, or you can use log screws. I think this is the 5th log cabin I've built, and I've always done it this way. I just pound them straight in. I've never ever had one split on me. So I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I suppose it could happen, but it hasn't happened to me yet. So That's how I've always done it. Just just spike it together. No drilling, nothing. You know, it's pretty nice getting to this point because I feel like I've been working on this for a long time and haven't really gotten much done. But, you know, there's a channel that I've mentioned on here before, Bush Radical. I'm sure you guys have seen it. He builds a lot of cabins. It's a really good channel. Lots of good information. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. But he was saying that, you know, when you build a cabin, it's just a bunch of steps. But that is the truth of it. You know, it is just a bunch of steps. And then, you know, you just keep chipping away and pretty soon you have a cabin built. Like this was raw land when we started. So, you know, step 1, cut a driveway in. Step 2, we needed our building materials. So start cutting logs and getting them over here. You know, step 3, peel the logs. Step 4, you know, pour some footings, then cutting those stumps and now running this first row of logs. And yeah, you just kind of keep chipping away at it. And yeah, pretty soon you got a cabin built. Anybody can do something like this, regardless of what your building experience is. You just have to want to do it. I think 95% of the battle sometimes is just starting. So in the next video, I should be a few logs up and it'll kind of start looking like a cabin. So that's always an exciting point. Because like I said, it's been a lot of work just to get to this point. And you know, all I really have to show for it is one row of logs on some stumps. But the next step will be rewarding. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like I said, next video we should be a few logs higher and should start looking like a cabin. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.